Man United is taking on Fulham at lunchtime, that is tomorrow, and it's going to be played at the Craven Cottage, a stadium that capacitates, I left Old Trafford, it's Craven Cottage, a stadium that capacitates 22,384 people in there for you. So welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And remember, the last game Fulham played into the Premier League, they drew with Brentford 1-1, right? And Man United was really demolished by Man City 3-0. You remember that very well, like it was yesterday. Now, in the midweek, Fulham went ahead to really qualify by beating Ipswich 3-1 to the quarter-final round of the Carabao Cup. And the team of Manchester United was knocked out by Newcastle by 3-0 at Old Trafford. So that shows you that at least for Fulham, they're really having a very good momentum as far as this game of football is concerned, and they happen to find themselves in a situation of facing United in a very sobbing manner, or disheartening way. For the side of Fulham, they're really having not very many injuries. If I told you to look at who is really out and who is really in, Fulham, Issa Diop is having a foot injury. Tosin Adarabio is having a groin injury. Adama Traore is having a thigh injury. Ken Tete, unspecified, and remained out on Wednesday evening. But Jimenez, Bernardo, Tim, and Ant Robinson will all return to obviously face Manchester United. Now, for Manchester United, we are obviously going to be having the following players out. Casemiro is out. He's the latest to join the injury list at Man United. That is Casemiro for you. Then the other player that is really out is Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, Amad Diallo, Tyrell Malacia. But Amrabat Wan Bissaka is back and is one of those players that might make a shock return to start onto the right back of Manchester United. So the manager of United is Erik ten Hag. The manager of Fulham is Marco Silva. And we come into this game when we need to win, because Erik ten Hag is really looking bad, and these players need to raise up to the occasion to see to it that things go on as planned. Lots of rumors surrounding Old Trafford, but the board is still investing in him, and the trust is really hugely invested in him. When you look at the team of Man United and how we anticipate this team obviously to come out and look on the day, you really believe that Erik ten Hag is going to go for a system of 4-2-3-1, you know, and with that system, you obviously have Andre Onana in goal. That is it. He's going to be in between the stitches as we take on the side of Fulham. You anticipate that's obviously going to put up a good show, and the previous 3 games has been really good. So after saving a penalty against Copenhagen, he was good against Manchester City, and he's still good. He was good against Newcastle. He saved what he had to save, and you cannot blame him on any of those goals that we conceded as a team when you're losing to Newcastle and Manchester City. Right back, I think the manager is obviously going to go with Amrabat Wan Bissaka, because he needs some fresh legs in to see to it that that side is closed down. I believe that Dalot would have gone ahead to really play, but I think Erik ten Hag is going to go in for what we call a defensive-minded game and hit Fulham on the break, because he knows he wants to keep it tight at the back, and then he lets everything goes on as planned for the club of Man United as we take on the side of Fulham. So Amrabat Wan Bissaka will be one of those players that is obviously going to come in through and obviously block that side. And when you look at them as Fulham, they'll obviously have a very hard time to obviously beat Amrabat Wan Bissaka. On the left back, I think it's going to be Sergio Reguilón being played as a left back. And to me, I really fancy Dalot not to play in this game, like to start, but he can come in through and obviously see to it that Amrabat Wan Bissaka gets like 70 minutes in, and then Dalot comes in through. All Sergio Reguilón plays some 60 minutes and you take him off as a player to play away at Copenhagen in the midweek, because Dalot has been playing very many games. Let's all admit to that. He has been playing very many games at Man United and he needs a rest. So Bissaka's gonna hate to come in through well, and that's why I want to see to it that Tyrell Malacia also returns, after the international break, such that even Sergio Roglan can balance up his playing time at Man United and we don't lose these players due to injuries. Then we go to, by the way, Sergio Roglan is going to be facing, I think, Willian, and Willian can be facing Amrabat Wan Bissaka or Sergio Roglan because he keeps shifting sides, and we know why he does that every time. Then we go to the central defense. I think it's going to be Lindelof Victor to play on the right side of the central defense alongside Harry Maguire. And I think Harry Maguire costed us the second goal that we conceded against Newcastle, where he headed the ball towards that whole guy who was loaned to Newcastle with an option to buy from Chelsea, and he hit it in the back of the net. It was like was really making an assist. So it shows you that Erik ten Hag is going to go that way. He's going to go strong, and I anticipate that Jimenez is not all that a tough striker to face. That is it. If we can cut off supply, we can obviously try to beat them, but it will depend on the morale of these players and how they are ready to put their bodies on the line. Then in the double pivot, I really believe it's going to be Amrabat and Eriksson. I believe that's going to be this double pivot of Man United. Why? This is going to be really important to see to it that we see these two play together, and I think they've played together before and they've gone ahead to put up a show that everyone does have no doubt about. Because if you want Amrabat and Eriksson to really increase their chemistry as they play together, as we look towards the game of Copenhagen, though you are not supposed to cross the bridge before you reach it, but you need to see to it that these two really have time together, right? You see them play and do the needful. But there is a shocking stat that we might see in that double pivot, and that is Kobbie Mainoo. We might see Kobbie Mainoo really make a start away at Fulham tomorrow, because he went ahead to play some 90 minutes for the very first time ever since he got injured in the American pre-season tour. So Kobbie Mainoo, maybe Hannibal can come in through and play part, because Hannibal put in a very good shift, and Erik ten Hag is going to be needing an extra body. If at all you are having Amrabat and Hannibal play into that position, play into the double pivot, that means a lot of intensity will be put up onto the field of play. So in the central attacking midfield, we anticipate that the captain Bruno Fernandes is going to return, having come on and played like 20 minutes in the game of Newcastle, where we lost by 3 goals to 0. Maybe that rest will help him pump up to see to it that he gets himself to where he deserves to be as a captain of Manchester United. So that is Bruno Fernandes Borges for you, right? Bruno Fernandes Borges for you. And I've gone ahead to criticize him lately, but let's wait and see what he has for the team tomorrow. And on the right, attacking side of the midfield, I wouldn't start him, but I know Ten Hag is going to start him. That is Anthony. Very wasteful, and he obviously costs us as a team. And these are kind of players that Erik ten Hag should really get off the field of play. And that's why I pray to it that hard that Amad Diallo really returns, such that we get another left-footed player playing as a right attacking midfielder. For Erik ten Hag giving an excuse that we need another player with the left foot to balance off the pitch on the right, that means we need Amad Diallo back and see how Anthony will be getting enough playing time. He needs to be on that bench seated, as we have another better player who can obviously take off players and really cause havoc into the final third of the pitch. The left forward, it's going to be Marcus Rashford. That's no doubt. It's going to be Marcus Rashford playing onto that side of the left forward. And who is leading the line? Rasmus Højlund, having been rested, he's obviously going to come in through and obviously lead that line. Now, if I told you watch the game of West Ham, let's count the number of changes that Erik ten Hag is going to make in the starting 11. Bissaka, Amrabat, Eriksson, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, and Rasmus Højlund. He might make 6 changes, into the starting 11 that United is going to put up as we take on the side of Fulham at Craven Cottage. But we need to obviously look through the following players. Paulinho is obviously going to be a very huge man into that midfield as he takes on Amrabat and any partner is going to play with. Willian is a player to look at. Andreas Pereira, former at Man United, might haunt us because he's really good, and Silva's going to hate to make him turn into a better player. And who else to look at? The left back, I think, is called Robinson. That guy, the left-footed guy who is really fast, he might obviously cause havoc to us. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But I believe that's going to be the predicted starting 11 of Man United as we take on the side of Fulham. Before I take you into my prediction, allow me throw the following into your eye, and we'll obviously come and see what history has for us. Now, since winning back-to-back Premier League games against Man United in March, December 2019, Fulham are now winless in their last 15 against Man United. 3 draws and 12 losses. So we've gone ahead to win them since 2009. We've gone ahead to win 12 times and drawn 3. That is, and last season we beat them hands down. So the street is obviously trying to come up. Let me try. I think we need to refresh these browsers to get us the news that we want. Now, the other one is Man United have won their last 6 Premier League away games against Fulham, only at West Bromwich Albion, 8 between 1984 and 2011. Have they won more consecutively at an opponent in their league history? So we've gone ahead to beat them 6 times consecutively. And last season, we beat them by 2-1 when we played at their stadium. You remember Alejandro Garnacho scoring the winner coming off the bench. And that day was really remarkable. That's when Ronaldo came up there and obviously said what he had to say. Then Fulham have alternated between defeat and victory in their 4 Premier League home games this season, beating Sheffield 3-1 last time out. Indeed, both of their wins against Craven Cottage, this team has been against promoted sides. So they've not gone ahead to win against a Premier League side, I think, this season. And they've won against Luton Town. And obviously, they've gone ahead to win against Sheffield, recently promoted. Man United are looking to win their consecutive Premier League away games for the first time since the run of 10 between June and December. However, both of their away league defeats this season have been in London. 2-0 to Spurs and 3-1 to Arsenal. You know that very well. So London has not been one of our best places for us to visit, and see to it that we play our A game as required. And lastly, Man United have won just 1 of their 11 Premier League games in London, 3 draws and 7 losses, though that was at Fulham in November 1st season. They've lost their last 3 such games, like losing more consecutively in the capital between April 1973 to January 1974. So this is the last time. If at all we lose on Saturday, I'm not going to come here and obviously tell you that United is going to win. But I see hard-fought win of 2-1. That is it. I believe these players still have something in them to obviously see to it that they obviously see that Erik ten Hag really gets and stays on his job, to see to it that everything goes on as planned. So I'm going in for a 2-1 prediction for the club of Man United to obviously go on and really win this beautiful game of football. So guys, your predictions to that are welcome in the comment section below, but we need to keep it tight at the back. You know, Amrabat, you saw to it that when he came in the game of Newcastle, things changed. I want to see him play alongside Eriksen in that game, but Erik ten Hag might keep Eriksen, to see to it that he comes off the bench, but he was one of the unused substitutes in the game of Newcastle, meaning that Ten Hag just was preparing him for the next 2 games. He wants his engine to be really high and face these teams in the best way possible, because Fulham and Copenhagen are really going to be some huge games. If at all we win those 2 games, then there is no way Luton Town is going to beat Man United at Old Trafford, meaning that we'll go into the international break when we've gone ahead to win 2 Premier League games at 21 points and having 6 points into the Champions League. I think that will give us a little bit of relief as we obviously prepare to see to it that we return from the international break around 24th and 25th of November where we'll be welcoming back Tarel Malacia and Amad Diallo into the team of Man United. I think that will obviously give us more and more and more and more for the team. You know, the moment you see Kobe Menu, Hannibal, Rasmus Højlund, Amad Diallo in the team, the Garnachos, you anticipate that these players want down tools because Ten Hag is trying to groom them to be the better of the others that are at the club of Man United. You anticipate something different. They'll die for the club and they'll run their hearts off. So that is it, coming in from Rokan David here onto the United Matters channel. You can as well go into the comment section and tell me what your prediction is about Man United and Fulham. Fulham is really a hard side, but the problem is they don't score goals. You know, I saw them create chances against Spurs and they never scored goals. They are good at hitting us on the break. They use a lot of wing play, you know, and that ball over the top, they use it a lot. There is a left-footed guy known as Wilson in that midfield. He's really great. He missed out on 2 brilliant opportunities. And if at all we really do the needful, we should obviously beat them by 2-1. But I don't see it an easy win. It's obviously going to be a hard one because you don't know what United is coming on the field of play. That is the big problem. If the United we anticipate really comes in through and starts, then everything will go on as planned and we'll win. But if that doesn't happen, then we will obviously see ourselves really not getting the best that we deserve. So, the battle between Paulina and Amrabat, who do you think is going to win it? All that and more into the comment section below. I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Juma Karim. Ciao.